advanced queries. Advanced queries simply means that we have multiple tables from which we have to fetch the data rather than fetching from a single table. And then we have another concept that is called SQL injection. SQL injection simply means a user, by mistake or by ignorance, we make a script or website like that an outside user can break our SQL queries. He can pass some unexpected data and he can break our queries. So that particular concept is called SQL injection. So today we are going to take these two concepts for today's class. So till now you have learned basics, forms, function, error handling, object-oriented concepts, MySQL introduction, data manipulation. That includes simple MySQL queries. Today we are going to learn advanced queries and SQL injections. So in this class we will go through explaining the advanced query concepts, like how we sort a particular data from a query or from multiple tables. Describe about how to handle regular expression. Again, I will let you know, till now we have learned regular expressions in case of PHP. Today we will learn using regular expressions in case of MySQL. Then we will see defining transactions and doing the transaction manipulations. Then what are indexes, how many different kind of indexes, and how we use indexing in our database. Explaining what are temporary tables and how we can clone a particular table. Then we will go on explain how to handle duplicates and how to get rid of duplicates. Next, we will describe the major concepts of SQL injection and how we can prevent it. So these are the basic objectives of today's class. So in advanced queries, advanced simply means the query that is not simple, that is not using a straightforward condition, or that is not from a single table. It can be from a single table, or it can be a complex condition rather than straightforward condition. So as far as advanced queries are concerned, first of all we will take like clause. What is like clause? Today, first of all, I will let you know what is like clause and how we use like clause to fetch the data in our condition through database. So let's go through some of the basic points regarding like. Like clause is used to select data based on a specific pattern. So we basically pass a pattern or regular expression based on which we fetch the data using the like clause. It is used to increase the query performance. Definitely if we are getting data using the like queries, so that will limit our search from the database, and definitely it will increase the performance of our query. If we don't know the exact value, then we can use like clause, right? Means if we are not aware that what should be the exact name that we, for example, if we are searching a particular name, but we don't know what would be the exact name. So what we will do, we will use like query. I will let you know how we use like query in that case. So it is often used in where clause of the select statement, right? It's a kind of conditional clause, so we use it in the where clause. Like operator can be used with two characters. One is percentage, then underscore. So percentage simply means any number of characters, that is 0 or more characters, and underscore means a single character. So today we will go through both uses of like operator. So here you can see the syntax. Select columns from table name where column name like pattern. So I will let you know the practical thing how we will do this. Like consider we are having a table like this. Now I want to fetch records from the table. For example, I don't remember the name, right? So what I will do, like I want to fetch the data or fetch a particular records that end with IT. So what I will do, select star from students where student name like So what I will do, like I want records that end with IT. So I will do like this. So here you can see I'm able to see two records, Mohit and Somijit, both end with IT. So like simply means if I put, are you able to see my screen? I think now it's more clear. So here you can see I have put select star from students where student name like percentage IT. So what percentage here means that before IT there might be any number of characters and any character. Any character, and it can be multiple times, it can be any times. So it should end with IT. So it will give me two records from the database with two names, Mohit and Somijit, because both end with IT. So this is how we use like. This is the use of percentage. Is it clear? Okay. Let's move ahead. So here are some of the points. We can specify condition using where clause. We can use like clause along with a where clause. This thing we have already discussed. Next, you can see here is the list of some records, and we want students whose name start with NA. So this was the thing that end with IT. Now we can see how we get records that start with a particular word. So if I want in this particular table, for example, there is one more name, Sumit @gmail.com, and there is some number, and like we have Sachin gmail.com, and we have some number. Now I want names that start with S. So what I will do, so have you got an idea of using like? Because in my last example I was showing that I want to get the names that end with IT. So here you can see I have written like percentage IT. So it will give me, percentage simply means any number of characters and any character, and it should end with IT. So it is giving me Mohit, Somijit and Sumit. Now I want names that begin with S. So how we are going to get? So here I will get all the three names, Somijit, Sumit and Sachin, that start with S. So percentage simply means any number of character. S is the first character, simply means it should start with S, and after S there might be any character and any number of characters. So I'm getting three names, Somijit, Sumit and Sachin. So yeah, so this is the use of percentage. So in this case we can use the clause in the following way to find all the students that start with NA. So the same way we will do, select star from student where name like NA percentage. So you will find the name start with NA is Nancy and Natasha. So this is the use of like with percentage. So this, they are just showing the usage of NA over command prompt. So the same thing we have done. Now using like clause inside PHP script. So it is, we will get the same result, but let's see what we get. So here is our MySQL connect. I have done the connection, then I've selected my database. I am straight for selecting select star from students. Now see what happens. Today I am going to build a table that will give you more clear idea, means how the records get displayed. I'm going to create a row, then a column. So here I will put roll number, then I will print student name, then our next column is student email, and next column is student contact. So here is our table. So here you can see, let's give some padding. So here you can see these much are records in our database with, so we have simply done select star from students. Now if I do where student name like, so here I will give %s. Okay, s percentage. So it will give me 3 records as we have seen on command prompt. So this is how to use like in your PHP script. So it is the same way. You simply have to write the query, you have to run the query, then here I have created a table. In the table first row I am taking roll number, student name, student email, student contact, and I am looping through my return value that I am getting from this query, and I am simply printing the values. So it returns me this table. I think you people might have tried this stuff, means using MySQL query and fetching the results using fetch assoc and fetch array. I think you might have tried, right? Have you tried practically this thing? Varsif, Samajit, okay, great. So you might be getting what I'm doing right now. The only change that I have done from my previous class is that I'm using a table to print the result to make you more clear, more understandable. So this is how we use like in our, same thing they are doing. They are getting Nancy and Natasha. The same thing they have done with command prompt, now they are doing in PHP query. So they are using query select star from students where name like any. So the same thing I have done in my PHP script. Now sorting. The next thing that comes is sorting. Now let's forget this like. So I'm having a simple query that is select star from students. Now the thing is that I want my records to be sorted by name, means either descending order or ascending order. If it is descending order or ascending orders, then the record, the name that starts with A or from the beginning, from the first letters should come on the top, and rest should go downwards. Simply means the list should be sorted. So here I can sort my list either by student name or student email or even by student contact I can sort. But as contact is not the right column to sort, in our case. So I'm going to sort with student name. So I will do order by student underscore name. I'm going to do descending. Yes, Somajit, right. So here you can see Yogesh comes first and Zia comes last. If I make it ascending, I will do ASC and it will give me Zia on the top and Yogesh on the last. So this is ascending or descending sorting. So we can sort by multiple columns. For example, I have done ascending by student name. I can also do student underscore email ascending. So first it will sort by name, then by email if there are groups of records. So this basically comes into play when there are multiple records, multiple groups of records. So in this table you will not find much difference, but if the group of records, then you will find the difference. So here the same thing is shown on the command prompt. So here they are getting the students order by name descending, the same thing I have done. So they are getting the records. So S comes first, A goes last, because they are sorting by descending order. Now this was all about order by clause. So next we start with joins. So what join simply means is that getting data from more than one table is called join. So there are various methods of joining two tables. Either we can join and we can data based on the first table or based on the second table, basically called left join and right join. That I'm going to explain you that how we use joins, how we get our data. Based on first table simply means it will give preference to first table and fetch the data from second table. This is called left join, and if we do right join, it will give preference to the second table and get data based on that from the first table. So we are going to discuss that today. So here you can see I'm having two tables, students and student marks. So the same thing we are going to do here. I'm having two tables, one is students and another one is student results. So here you can see to join two tables we should have some relationship between those two tables. So how we can maintain a relationship? The relationship can be created by a special kind of key that we call foreign key. You might be aware that in all tables we normally keep first column as our primary key. That is not duplicated, and that is the primary column by which we basically run our conditions. So in this case, in students table, roll number is our primary key, and in student results, ID is our primary key. So here you can see I have taken one more column, ID column in student results, that is student underscore ID. So this student ID is the ID or roll number of the students table. So what we are doing here, we are saving our roll numbers in student results tables as a foreign key. So this is called foreign key. Means this is column from any other table that we are going to use to fetch the data for that particular table based on this particular ID. So this is called foreign key. Here student underscore ID is foreign key for student results table. So here I will show how I'm going to fetch data from both the tables. I'm going to do select. So it is always better to append your table name before the column name. because it might be possible that both the tables might have any column that is having same name. For example, we can have ID column in both the tables. Now if you will fetch the ID comma ID, it will give you the basically the MySQL server will get confused. It will not get from which table you are looking to fetch the ID. So it is always better to give any of the column with the table name. So I'm going to fetch students dot student contact, student dot email address, and then I'm going to fetch student results dot English results dot maths, and I'm going to fetch dot total from students comma student results where student or dot roll number is equal to 1. So here you can see now I'm getting data combined from both the tables, student and student results. Student contact is coming from student table, student email is coming from student table, English, math and total, both these three columns are from student results table. And because we are having one column as foreign key, so what we will do, student results dot student ID equal to students dot roll number. So here you can see, here I'm getting roll number data for roll number 1 from both the tables, combined from both the tables. If you see the tables separately, then you can see roll number 1, student name is Mohit, email ID is mohit@gmail.com, and from student results for student ID 1, English is having 80, maths is having 80, and total is having 320. So if we run this query, so here you can see first two columns are from the first table and third three columns 80, 80, 320 are from the student results table. So this is how we can join two tables. We can fetch data from two tables based on a particular column that is foreign key for student results table and primary key for students table. So students roll number is a foreign key for students results table. So we are comparing these two fields from both the tables and getting the roll number for roll number 1. So we can do this as well. If we want all the results from both the tables, we will simply do where student results the student ID is equal to students dot roll number. So it will give me all the records with columns combined or joined from both the tables. So this is how alias are created. str, okay, student maths, okay, str, student ID, okay, str and str. So here you can see I have created aliases for columns and tables as well. Fine. Okay, let's move ahead. So here you can see we can do the same thing, where and name st dot name student name like s%. So here it will give me where name starts with s. So we can create like, we can use like, means any kind of condition we can use here. Here they are showing me simply in our PHP thing. I just have to change this query. You can write down any query. You can write down any condition in the select and you will get the result. So see here they are printing some result based on where roll number is equal to. So they are simply doing the join of two tables and getting the results printed here. What I have done on the command prompt. So that was again how the basic join is used in our PHP or MySQL that was shown. Now I will show you two variations, that is called left join and right join. So as like join we have done right now, left join is also used to fetch the data from multiple tables, but what it will do, it will give preference, or it will give additional consideration to the table on the left side, means the first table. For example, if we do join in retrieves all the records which match from the both tables, and then it includes all the unmatched records from the left join table. So let's see this example, then you will understand what I want to say. So I will do select students dot roll number, students dot name, student results dot computers, results dot science, from students inner join student results on students dot roll number is equal to student results dot student ID. So let's put some condition here. What kind of condition they are putting? Like we put condition where student underscore name like %ID. Okay. So here you can see I'm doing join of two tables, students and student results. I'm fetching student roll number, name, and student results. From the student results table I'm fetching marks in computers and science. So here I'm doing inner joins, student inner join student results on students dot roll number is equal to student results dot student ID, where student underscore name like %IT simply means I'm going to fetch all the names that end with IT. So here you can see based on condition on my students table, it is putting condition on students table and giving me two results. and getting the computers and science results for this student table. So this is basically inner join. Inner join simply means that it will give me only those records that match in both the tables. So this is inner join. Here you can see left join. So now you understand the difference between inner join and left join. If I was doing inner join, so it was giving me only those records that are having values for computer and science. Means where the roll number and student ID match, and it gives me join. Now if I do left join, it will give me Sumit, but you can see for Sumit there is no record in student results table. See, I'm having students with ID roll number 1 to 8, but in student results I'm having student IDs only from 1 to 6. I don't have record for 7 and 8. So if I do inner join, you will get only those records that are having records in both the tables with matching foreign key. So this is inner join, that gives only those records. Now if I do it left join, you can see I'm getting Sumit even if I don't have any record related to Sumit in student results. I don't have any record for ID of Sumit. So here ID of Sumit is 7, but in student results I don't have any record with the student ID 7. But if I'm doing left join, I'm even getting the record for Sumit, although I'm not getting computer and science marks because they are not there. They are from the second table, student results. So this is called left table and this is called right table. So here in left join, the left table gets the preference. We will give all the records from the left table that match this particular condition, even if it don't have records in right table. Even then we will get the record from left table. So this was left join. I think this is clear. You might have understood that what left means. So here left join, we can have right join that will give preference to the second table, means second table or the student results table will get the preference. So here we will fetch records based on right table rather than left table. So students is the left table, this is the right table. So in right join we are giving preference to right table and we will fetch records from both the tables only based on records in the right table, that is student results table, if they exist in student table or not. So we can change it, means we can reverse this statement if I do it. So here you can see now student results is my primary table or left table and students is my, I have made reverse of what we were doing earlier. Students have made right table. Now in order to, now if I have to give the preference to student results, I will do right join because it is the second table. Now second table wants the preference, so we will do right join and it will give them a result. If I make it left join, then it will give preference to student results rather than students. So now handling null values. So here you can see null is nothing but missing unknown data. So null is again a value. It doesn't means blank. Null is different and blank is different thing. Means null is different from single quotes. Value in single quotes is different from null. Null is a special value. So how we will check that some value is null or not? Like in student results table, if I'm having a record for 7, I will keep it 90, 90, 350. Let's we take it, keep it null for now. I don't take any value. Then for 8, I will take only math marks and computer marks. 90. I have not entered marks for English, science and total. So if I have to fetch records from student results, select star from student results, where now I will not do like total equal to null. So this will not give me the result. I will do where total is null. So here you can see I'm getting 2 records where total is null. If I do total is not null, it will give me all the records where total is not null. So I will not do like this, means like we do for example, if we are doing total is equal to 80. So here I will not do total is equal to null, rather I will do total is null or is not null. So this is how the null is used in the condition. Is null, check the values and return true if column null is true. Is not null, checks the value and return true if the column value is not true. And this special comparison, if the comparing value are null, then operator returns true. So this is the usage of null, how we use. So here you can see we cannot use equal to null or not equal to null like this. So this is how we deal with null values. Here you can see the example in command prompt. Select star from author where book count is null. So you will get all the records where book count is null. This is again where book count is not null. You will get all the records where book count is not null. Like here, we are having null values for total. So this same thing we can do with our writing query here in our PHP, and we will get the result like this. Like I copy the query and I write it here. Now to change this. As I'm getting data from separate table and column name is different. So I will take English, science, maths, and then English, so here you can see we are having null values for these fields. So we are getting here blank, no values. If I do it is not null, then the same we will get records that don't have any null value. So this is how we can use it in our PHP code. So even we can put a condition like if this is empty, and take it 0, otherwise take the value. So if we are getting null values, then wherever we are getting null, okay, I think it should be in the condition. Cannot keep it like here. So you might have understood the use of null. Okay. Okay, now we will see regular expressions. So like you have used regular expressions in case of PHP, like we have special characters that let us know, or that we compare with values to determine PHP. It is a query data based on complex patterns. We use patterns to match characters. It has own syntax and can be treated by regular expression processor. So this is the thing that means. Let's go to the practical thing. Here you can see this is syntax of regular expression. Select column list from table name where column regex pattern. So here we are going to compare the column values with a regular expression pattern. The main advantages of using this is the main that it basically it is similar to like, but it is more preferable over like, because we can have more options, or we can get more sophisticated values if we use regular expression over like. And disadvantage is that it is bit difficult to understand. We have to write complicated patterns, but in like you either have to use underscore or you have to use percentage. So here you can see the patterns that we can use, the same pattern you have seen in PHP, like this. Cap simply means beginning of the string, dollar means end of the string, dot means any single character, dot 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 means each matches any character that is inside this square bracket. That this means that this character should not be, if we give like this, if we give like this in this braces, if we give like cap 5, then that particular pattern should not match 5, means that should be excluded, will be given this with this cap. Again, P1 by P2 by P3 simply means any of P1, P2 or P3. Star simply means 0 or more occurrence, plus means 1 or more occurrence, n means n occurrences of a particular element, m comma n means m through n means m and occurrence should be maximum n. So these are the regular expression patterns that we were using earlier as well in PHP. So here you can see I'm fetching results based on regular expression rather than like. Select star from students, where now if I have to fetch the records that end with IT, what I was doing using like operator, I was doing star IT, where student underscore name. So I was getting the code like this, but if I have to achieve the same thing using regular expression, what I will do rather than doing like this %it, I will do regexp it dollar. So it will give me the same result set. In like keyword, first we give any character, then ending string, but in regular expression we use our patterns. So in case we are using dollar, and dollar after any character or set of characters simply means that that particular string is going to end with it, that particular string, that particular substring basically, that we have given prior to dollar. So this like and regular expression will return the same thing. Yes, it dollar, right. Fine. So this was usage of regular expression. So they are showing this thing in command prompt as we have done. Now what they select all names that start with N. The same thing we have done with like operator for start with S, we were doing S%, but here we will do this. So it will give me all the records that start with S. So this is using the like clause and this is using the regular expression. So here you can see, here in this case they are getting data that is ending with DA. Now they are getting data that is either starts with A or ends with DA. Same thing we can do here, that start with S or end with IT. So I will get records, all the records that either start with S or that end with ID. So here Somejit starts with S, Sumit starts with S, Sachin starts with S, but Mohit ends with IT. Even Somejit also ends with IT, so I'm getting both the records. So this is the use of pipe character, that is basically for ORing, to do the OR condition, OR logical operator. So this was all about regular expressions. Now we have transactions. So what are transactions? A transaction is basically what happens. Normally we execute single queries, but sometimes we can make a group of queries, group of operations that can be executed to solve a single purpose. So in that particular thing we use transactions. It is basically to run the manipulation operations all together. So if a single action of that particular transaction or single query of that particular transaction fails, then entire transaction leads to fail. It never returns anything. So this is the purpose of transaction. For example, we have to transfer a money from one account to another. So in that case, first of all, we are going to check that if amount is sufficient in our account or not. If it is fine, we are going to deduct the amount from that amount and going to transfer it to the next amount. So this is a process, a cycle that should go. So this cycle is done in a transaction so that if anything unexpected occurs, we can roll back. We come back to our initial stage. So here is, we call it acid basically ACID principle that is used in transactions. ACID means, A means atomicity. It simply means all the operations are completed successfully. Either all the operations are completed successfully or no operation is completed. Means if there is any issue with any of the transaction action, we just roll back everything. So if we maintain our atomicity, then it is consistency. It simply means either the transaction is processed completely or it is not processed at all. So it remains, the database remains the consistent. If we are going to update the data of 3 tables in transactions, and if I have updated data for first table and while updating for the second table I got some error, so even the data for the first table will be rolled back. Simply means the data will remain consistent. There is no chance that data will be inconsistent. Next is isolation. Isolation simply means that each transaction is independent of other transactions. No transaction can overlap with any of the other transactions. So it is isolated with other transactions. Durability simply means once the transactions or all the transactions are executed and we have committed them, we have used the commit keyword, so all the result will be committed and it will remain permanently in our database server. So this is called durability. So this is the ACID principle that we follow in transactions. You might be aware that our transactions basically begin with begin and end with commit or rollback. Either we commit our transactions or if there is an issue, we roll back our transaction. So commit simply means if transaction is completed successfully, commit command will make the changes permanent. And rollback means if there is an issue in any of the transaction action, everything will be rolled back. So the behavior of the transaction can be controlled by AUTOCOMMIT, right? AUTOCOMMIT simply means if we make it, basically it is by default 1. If AUTOCOMMIT keyword is 1, then all the transaction statement is committed automatically. We don't have to use the commit and the end to commit the transactions. When it is 0, then we have to provide the commit clause at the end of the transaction to commit all the queries. So here you can see we can execute SQL commands by using MySQL query, right? We can use transactions in PHP as well. We can use our MySQL query function to start the transactions or to commit the transactions or to roll back the transactions. So basically the transactions can be executed straightforward directly, but it is always better to use a particular table type to do that. Basically we use InnoDB tables in our case. So InnoDB tables are called transaction safe tables, means transactions can execute perfectly on these tables and our commit and rollback will work as per the ACID principle. So we use InnoDB tables. Simply what we do, how we can use from the MySQL version 5.6, I think from the 5.6, the default table type is chosen as InnoDB. Before that, the default table type was MySQL. We had to manually alter our table to make it InnoDB. So these are the table types. Although these are not the part of this session, I will simply let you know if we are going to do any kind of transactions or we are going to we are going to apply some kind of constraints on our database like foreign key constraints and all. So we are going to use InnoDB tables in that case. We are not going to use MySQL tables. MySQL tables are basically for reads. If we are doing only read from a particular table, we are going to use MySQL. But if writes are more, reads are less, then we should prefer InnoDB tables. I think you might already be aware of these concepts as I think Sumijit, you are proficient in Oracle, so you might be heard of these terms. And Vasif, you might also be clear about these terms. So you might be aware of what is table type, what is NoDB, what is MySQL. Is it? Yes, Vasif. Your concept is same. Either it is Java or it is MySQL, it is Oracle. The concepts are same. The usage is a bit different. Here you can see we are using create table student. We are giving the column name, column type, and then size, not null, email, column type, size, and type of table. So here we are giving type is equal to InnoDB. If I don't give this type, if we are using 5.6 version of MySQL, it will automatically take it, by default take it InnoDB. If it is, we are using the earlier versions, it will take MySQL. So this is the difference that is put in the latest version of MySQL, because NUDB tables are the most preferred tables. If we are going to perform any kind of transactions, or we are going to do any kind of referential integrity kind of thing, or like foreign key constraints, so we use InnoDB tables in that case. So this was about transactions. So first of all, let's see this. What is this AUTOCOMMIT? AUTOCOMMIT, I have told you that if we can set like this: set AUTOCOMMIT equal to 1. Now if I execute it, now if we start a transaction and if we run something, it will be committed automatically. If we make it by default, so in order to make a transaction, we keep it AUTOCOMMIT equal to 0. So I will do set AUTOCOMMIT equal to 0. I will do update, like I'm having students table, and in students table I'm having these records. So what I'm going to do in my first record, I'm going to change email address. Update students set email is equal to mohit@yahoo.com. Right now it is gmail.com. I'm going to do it yahoo.com. Then I will do rollback. See now what happens. Here I've done start AUTOCOMMIT equal to 0. So it is showing me one query executed. Now I will start my transaction, and once I've started my transaction, I will update students. Now if I see select star from students, but you can see the email ID becomes mohit@yahoo.com. Now I do rollback. Now see what happens. See, email has again become mohit@gmail.com, because all the queries that I'm running that are under a transaction. Transaction is a set of queries that either all will be committed or nothing will be committed. So if I do the rollback, everything will be rolled back. So you can see the student email again becomes mohit@gmail.com. But if I update it and I check it, it is mohit@yahoo.com, but if I do commit, then after doing the commit, if I try to roll back, I will not be able to roll back, because commit simply means it makes the changes permanent. Now if I run the rollback thing, I will not get mohit@gmail.com. I will get mohit.yahoo.com, because after making the change, I've committed it. And so if it is committed, you cannot roll back it. Right? So this was commit and rollback. This was a transaction. Once you start a transaction, you execute some queries. If any error or unexception occurs in between, you can roll back, and everything will be rolled back from each and every table or each and every change that you have made. Everything will be rolled back. I think this was the simplest way that I might have told you, because normally transactions are very complex, and showing example of complex transactions may confuse people. So this was the simplest example that I could give you. So is it fine, Varsif? Means you might be clear now what is transactions, how we start transactions, what is rollback, what is commit. Now we have alter commands. So alter commands are basically used to either to change your column type, column size, or the column name itself. So many variations are there for alter commands. So while using alter commands, you can do multiple things. Alter simply means you can modify your table. You can do any change to your table. You can drop any particular column. You can add any particular a new column, or you can change the size of your column. You can change the type of your column. You can rename your column. So this is the first usage of alter command, that is dropping a particular column. So like I'm having a table, this student old. I want to drop this column student_grp. So what I will do, alter table students_old drop _grp. So here you get 4 rows affected, because 4 rows are there, and it gets deleted from all the rows. So here you can see I don't have class group column right now after running this alter drop query. So this is the first usage of alter table command, dropping a particular column. So here they are using it on the command prompt. They are dropping a column contact number. Now alter command to add a column. I can add a column as well as I have dropped. Now instead of dropping, I will do add var 50. Now 4 rows get affected. Now if you refresh the tables, you can see class group column added to the table. So the first alter command variation was for dropping a column, and next alter command syntax is to add a column. Add column name, type and size. This way you have to give, and you will be able to add a particular column. So here they are adding contact number column, as we have done with class group column. So here are the variations, dropping a column. And apart from adding a particular column, we can also give that after which column we want to add it. For example, I didn't have given anything, so it is adding the column at the end. If I drop this column, and if I do add classroom after contact underscore number, so now see what happens. So class group now is being added after the contact number, not at the end. So we can specify after which column you want to insert this particular column. So this is again a variation of alter command. See, in the above example, what we are doing, we are deleting a column, we are adding a column, we are adding a column to at a particular location. So these are basically repositioning, or we can say variations of our alter command. So these are the two. This was the simple alter command to add or remove a column. Now we can have either modification or changes. Modification simply means we can simply modify the size of a column. Change simply means we can even change the name of the column. So here is an example or syntax of modify. So there is another syntax called alter table modify new column name. For example, I have to change my column. For example, this is my class group column. I have to do alter table students old modify class group to int 20. Right now it is varchar 50. I am converting it to int 20. So now you can see the structure. If I do explain, here you can see the class group becomes integer 20. Again I can make it varchar 50. If I run the query and explain the table. So explain is a command that basically gives me each and everything related to a table that are required, basically like all the fields, type of each field, then it is null or not null, which one is primary, what is the default value, it is auto incremented or not, or any other extra parameter or thing related to a particular column. So here you can see it again becomes varchar 50. So this was the use of modify. More so simply here we can see modify is used to change type and size of a particular column. We do alteration in a table and modify any particular column size or type using modify. Next we have change. We can change a column, not only columns size or type, we can change column name as well. See, the group name, the class group name, field name was class underscore grp. I have changed it to class underscore group with integer 20. So if we explain a table, you can see the class underscore grp becomes class underscore group with integer 20. Now if I want to rename class underscore group to group underscore class with varchar 60. If I run this query and explain my table, here you can see class underscore group is now changed to group underscore class with varchar 60. So modify is used to change the size and type of a field, but change is basically used to change the column name as well apart from the size and type. So this was the use of change variation of alter command. So I think this is fine. So should we move ahead with the next topic, with the next slide? If change and modify difference is clear to you people. Varsif, Somijit, can I move ahead? So Varsif, okay, fine. Let's go with the next slide. So here you can see the effect of alter table on null and default values. Not only we can modify a column or change the type or size, we can also provide a column, either it should be null or not null. We can assign the value. So here you can see alter table, student, modify, email, varchar I have given varchar 200. Also I am giving not null, default some value. Like I'm doing modify student name. I'm doing it varchar 100 not null, default test name. Now if we explain our query, here you can see student name now becomes varchar 100. It was varchar 50. It becomes varchar 100, and default value becomes test name. Means if we don't give any value for this field, test will be default value. So it is now not null. Previously it was null. Now it is not null. So in null column you will find no. Simply means you cannot leave this field as null. It might have any value. If we don't define any value, it will take the test name at this column's value. So this is modify for using null and not null and default value. So again, here is a variation of alter command. We can change the table type. We have already seen the changing the table type. So here you can see show table status like student. So it gives us the engine, the table type, storage engine that table is using. Here it is MySQL, here it is InnoDB. So here you can see, I can see the engine. So that I can simply use a show table status. So here I'm able to see my all the tables, books, student results, students and student code. Here is the engine, InnoDB, and MySQL. Here is the version, rows, average rows. So lot of information you will get regarding each and every table, max data length, index length. So lot of things it will clear you about each and every table. Here you can see I'm altering alter table student. Alter command can also be used to alter command. Till now we have seen alter command can be used to change the type, command can be used to change the size of a column, alter command can be used to rename a column, even alter command can be used to change the storage engine, alter command can be used to change the table name itself. So now I will show to change the engine type. Alter student underscore old alter table engine is equal to, right now student old is having storage engine as MySQL. I'm going to do it InnoDB. Students. Now if you see the status, you can see it is converted to InnoDB. Yes, Vasif, I have corrected it. So now you can see student's old storage engine becomes InnoDB. If you do it MySQL, it will become MySQL. So Majid, the basic difference is that, first of all, the difference is in the format they store the data. MySQL basically stores in two different files because the data is ultimately saved in files. So two different files are created, one for index, one for keys, and one for data. But in InnoDB, it is the single file. So this is the storage structure, how the data is stored in MySQL and InnoDB. Now, if as far as the usage of both the tables are concerned, basically if we fetch any data from MySQL table, whenever you fetch data from a MySQL table, if you have executed a select command over MySQL table, the whole table will get logged. At a single time, only single select command or single command can execute on MySQL tables. So this is called table locking. We lock the table until a particular command is executed on MySQL. But in case of InnoDB, we don't go with table locking, we go with row level locking. If we are changing a particular row, only that particular row will be logged, not the whole table will be logged. So we can say if we are simply reading the data, then MySQL is support, MySQL is preferred. We are straightforward doing, we are simply fetching data or what kind of reads we are doing. We can use MySQL tables, but if we are writing data to the database, to particular table, or we are supporting the transactions, we are doing the stored procedures, we are building the stored procedures and all. So we should go ahead with InnoDB tables in that case. So MySQL tables are preferred for reads only, and InnoDB tables are preferred if writes are more, means update or add commands, update or insert commands are used more rather than select commands. So these are the basic differences of usage of MyXamp and InnoDB tables. So this was alter command to change the engine. Next, you can rename your table itself. I will do rename to students_new. So now if we refresh, you can see the student_old table now becomes students_new. So alter command can be used to rename not only the column but the table name itself. So this was all about alter command. So alter command can modify the type, modify the size of the column, it can change the name of the column, it can change the storage agent, it can change the table name itself. So these were some usages of alter commands. Now we are on indexes. What is indexing? Indexing, if we talk about real life example, that you might be aware that from the beginning of our studies, from the nursery class, we are reading the books, and in those books at the beginning we are having indexes. We are given the chapter name, then particular topic name, then in front of the topic name we are having page number, then again a new topic name, we have page number, then again next chapter topic, in front of topic again there is page number. So index is basically used to easily search or make your search fast, or making your conditions run faster even in databases as well, as we do it in a real life example like in books. So an index is basically a data structure that is saved on server side, or it can be created on one or more columns. Like we are creating primary keys. If you are aware of it, we are creating primary keys here. ID is the primary key in case of student and new. So this ID is index of this column. So here you can see indexes list. In that list you can see primary ID. So in this case ID is a primary key. It's an index, but it's a primary index, primary key. A lot of kind of indexes are there. Primary index or foreign index, or we can say clustered indexes are there, scanned indexes are there. So a lot of kind of indexing is there in MySQL. It can be created by using one or more columns. So if more than one columns are included in an index, then those columns are called composite key. If we use multiple columns, for example, I use ID and student name, I want that roll number, that a particular roll number and name should be fixed. They should be unique. So I can make both as primary key. Like if I change now, in this case primary key is only roll number. I can make student name also primary key along with roll number. So now roll number and student name both will become composite key. Both will work as primary key and they will be unique. Their combination will be unique, and both will become now composite key. So more than one column included in a key is called a composite key. It is basically used to improve the speed of the operation. Exactly same as book. If you have to go to some particular topic, what you will do, you will not search the book from the page 1 and you will go until you find that particular page. What you will do, you will go to the indexes of that book, you will find your particular topic, and with that particular topic you will find the page number, and you will directly go to that page number to read the book. So the same way the indexing is done in databases. It is used by the database search engine to speed up the queries. I've already told you about the search engines. Then select statement become faster. Definitely selects or search becomes faster if we use indexing. if we are having indexes in our table, then index insert and update takes more time because we have insert and update index value simultaneously. So if we should only keep those fields as indexes that are used in where condition, that are used in condition. Otherwise we should not go with any particular column to make it index, because that will slow down your fetching of data or updating of your data. So it is always a wise decision to make only those columns as indexes that are used in your conditions. Unique index keyword, then index name, on, table name, and then columns. For example, here you can see in students new indexing primary ID is our index. This is primary index. Primary index is always unique. So the simple index simply means that it can be repeated. Now the search will be done on the basis of this simple index. While searching the data, the server will fetch the data as per this index, but this index value can be duplicated. But a unique index is an index that cannot be duplicated, that will be having single value. For example, ID primary key is a unique index because you cannot have two records in a table that are having same primary key. Every time primary key would be different. See, it is 1 to 8. If we create next record, it will be 9. If we create next record, it will become 10. So if you try to change any of the primary key, you will get error that this table cannot have primary key with the same name. For example, if I try to make it 6, it will give me duplicate entry 6 for key primary. So as we are already having a record Gia with roll number 6 and roll number, I have made it primary key, primary roll number. So we cannot make any other record with roll number 6 because this is a unique index, unique key. So this is the difference between a simple index and a unique index, that unique index cannot be duplicated, but a simple index can be duplicated. So that was a bit information about indexing.